Life is a series of choices. Some choices are good and others are bad, like making a drunken promise to your girlfriend on the honour of your family to watch all 18 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. Now, despite what you might think, some choices go beyond even this. I know, some choices transcend such petty concepts as good and bad, right and wrong. Some choices can only be described as evil. I am here today to warn you that in gaming there exists just such a choice. A class, if you will, that if you play it, might destroy your life for all of time, perhaps even for a long time. Now I'm sure you're all wondering, Vulgrin, what could this evil be? What class could be so despicable that it would have such a deadly reputation? Well, let me tell you a story that will chill the blood. Let me take you on a long and extremely convoluted journey in which I will explain in minute detail everything you will need to know in order to understand. It's Rogue. I mean, obviously it's Rogue. Like, what did you think it was going to be? A fucking monk? Behave yourself. I'm just going to come out and say it right here at the beginning. Rogue is the best class that has ever been introduced to the MMO genre, and if you disagree with me, it's probably because you were one of the guys getting ganked by rogues constantly in Stranglethorn back in the day, whilst running your ass off trying to make it to Grom Gol. I can picture it right now, your friends looking on in despair as the Zeppelin takes off, meanwhile you're stuck in the jungle doing your best impression of Sergeant Elias from Platoon. And I understand that such an experience absolutely leads to an increased build-up of sodium deposits in the body. I've been there myself when I first encountered the Banished Knights in Elden Ring. Yeah, look at you, you smug bastard with your fancy fucking armour and your giant fucking codpiece. And anyway, look, I get that a lot of people hate rogues, and that's just part of the gig. It's in the name, right? Whether you want to call the class a rogue, thief, assassin, or something really weeb like a Nightblade, ugh. These aren't the names of someone you'd trust to help your granny with her shopping, are they? And yes, part of the blame here must fall upon the players, no doubt, I accept that, but the real culprits here are undoubtedly the developers themselves. I mean, take World of Warcraft for an example. What exactly did the developers expect to happen when they combined stealth mechanics with ridiculous DPS on the only dedicated melee DPS on launch? Anyone who's played old school WoW, be it actual vanilla or classic, knows that every dude and his mother had a rogue because of this delicious combination of traits. That and the fact that it was the only class in the game which felt like it had an actual rotation, rather than a playstyle designed for an Atari CX fucking 40. Are you hearing this, paladins? What I'm trying to say here is that it wasn't exactly hard killing people as a rogue, and here one finds the main attraction to the class for a lot of people. You know, if you can choose the location of the fight, wait until every ability in your spellbook is off cooldown, target the gnome who is currently being crushed by 4 mobs and is also 4 levels lower than you are, cheap shot the cunt, and then explode like a Worgen player at a furry festival, well, you're probably gonna do alright. I'm pretty sure Sun Tzu said that once. Now you may be wondering, what sort of sad, sick maniac would do that for fun? Well, I can confirm that a Maelorc rogue named Vulgrin did once spend an entire Sunday afternoon walking round and round in a giant circle inside the Shimmering Flats doing just this. Was it wrong? Yes. Do I have any regrets? Yes, actually. I should have spent all of Sunday morning doing it as well. And the best part of this is we're not talking about some sort of hero class locked behind an actual level of skill and achievement in your game of choice. This is one of the big 3 archetypes of role-playing, alongside brain empty no thinky and reads books for entertainment. Ugh. If you play a rogue, you're the final third of the population. Your favourite film is The Crow, and you would dress like Eileen the Crow if you thought you could get away with it. Now there's been a lot of focus on WoW in this video, and that's because it's by far and away the game I know best. What can I say? I suffer from a lethal addiction to nostalgia and disappointment. But don't think for a minute that it's just the WoW rogues that are scumbags. No. This isn't even relegated to just MMO games. You see, like I said at the beginning, playing a rogue is a lifestyle choice. Choosing to give up the path of a heroic warrior or mighty wizard so that you can sneak around dressed like a Walmart Nazgul stealing cheese in an Elder Scrolls game is not a decision one makes lightly. And speaking of the Elder Scrolls, it's quite relevant actually, as my first introduction to the rogue lifestyle came in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. You know, that game famed for its trademark Bethesda polish and realism.
May you rest in peace.
Now in Oblivion, there are essentially two paths one can go down as a rogue player. You can join the Thieves Guild, which is pretty self-explanatory, or the Dark Brotherhood, which, if you didn't know, is an Assassin's Guild and happens to have the best faction questline of any RPG ever made, and I will fight you on that. What does any of this have to do with explaining the evil that is the rogue though? Well, to put it simply, one of these guilds encourages you to steal from the blind, and the other instructs you to murder the majority of your own team based on a flawed assertion that they must be fucking you over. So basically the fantasy of every raiding rogue since the days of Molten Core. These are hardly the adventures of an upstanding citizen, are they? Now I can see myself starting to ramble on a bit here, so if nothing else convinces you that rogues are the biggest dicks in gaming, think of it like this. All the worst offenders in this world are rogues. They might not seem it at first, but they absolutely are. Think about it. Knight Lautrec, rogue. Richard Nixon, rogue. This fucking tosser, definitely a rogue. Every Batman villain, apart from Mr. Freeze, rogues. I mean, even Shadow the fucking Hedgehog is a rogue when you think about it. Point is, these fiends are everywhere. In your games, in your homes, and they absolutely will not stop. How do I know this? I was one, for Christ's sake. Idea of what the Warcraft lore is from this shit.
Is this,
You
what's
know
this? Is it a deer?
Yeah, it's a beautiful deer. It's beautiful,
Oh.
isn't it?
That's wholesome.
Consider yourself warned. Rogues are dangerous. Rogues are evil. Choosing to play a rogue will lead to the loss of all your friends and loved ones, replaced by 40 pounds of unnecessary body weight and an addiction to dressing up like a gimp. I mean, look at this guy, for fuck's sake. He tried to hang himself just to escape this fate, but there is no escape. Armed with this knowledge, my only hope is that you can now make the right choice and do what must be done. And oh yes, we both know what that means. Hello. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a ton for watching. If it gave you a bit of a tickle and you enjoy this sort of thing, stick around because there's a lot more to come. There truly is no rest for the wicked. Feel free to subscribe and share the video with your friends if you think they'll get a laugh out of it. The more people I infect with this content, the happier it makes me inside. Until we next meet then, my friends, have a very good day, all the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.